What's going on, traders? So, every weekend I look back the week and then I look forward to kind of get some type of plan in my head, create some alerts, just kind of look to see what's going on, just so I have an idea of what I really want. And this is how I catch the big moves, both in prop firms and options. I zoom out because during the week you see me, I'm trading on the 1 or the 5 mostly, but now when I'm looking on the week, I zoom out to the daily, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and I kind of get a gist of where I want to purchase. I'll set alerts to buy intraday, but also swinging options and things like that, and just kind of looking real quick on the cues. I'd love to see a pullback to the 34, which is this green line. You could see when we were trending up previously, we basically kept pulling back to the 34, and then you'd get some solid bounces right off of it. We did it again here. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, is a pullback to the 34, which would be around, I don't know, by the time it reaches, this is obviously trending up. Maybe it's like 479, 478. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Being that we sold off end of day Friday, that is not showing strength. But, the whole Trump thing that happened over the weekend, I was reading the markets were poised to make a big push on Monday. So obviously news and world events can shift charts. We cannot pull back and just kind of create new highs here without a doubt. That's what news does, but just overall, I'm looking for that. I do not like that we created a sell signal here. Normally, when we create a sell signal, we'll get a couple days down. Let me go to the 1, see what we got going on here. I mean, I would love to get, some type of pullback to at least the 200 here. Be 480. Actually, 480 coincides with the 479 area. So that would be nice. You could see we did that hourly dump at the end of the day. I think if we do get under 490, we could possibly go down. I have an alert set right here for a bounce at 487. That was the breakout point right here that we broke. I think if we retest that, you're going to get a bounce. Whether that bounce lasts 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 2 days, I think you can get some type of bounce in that area. So I'm probably going to take an options position there and probably buy in, the prop firms as well. So that's my first bounce point. Let's see what we got on the 15. 15, we're sitting right at the 200. I mean, it could definitely turn from here. I mean, I don't create like a bias. I kind of set alerts, and I already have my alert in. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. But things are starting to, on the larger time frames, the hourly, the daily, we're starting to turn back down. I do think we're overbought. I mean, listen, like you bring up, this is what the daily looks like. I mean, we've had a crazy run. We're up, what is this, April? From April till now, we're up almost, 20%. I mean, we're up a lot here. If you go to years past, I mean, obviously, COVID and everything else, but like this is what charts typically look like up, dip, keep going, dip a little bit, and then that's typically what you see is kind of like a steady grind. You're not, these are all kind of steady grinds. So for us, the last couple of years have been absolutely crazy. I mean, I've traded through a lot of stuff, but this last couple of years have been bonkers. I mean, that's the COVID drop, and then they just pump money into the system. Um, and then obviously the inflation caused the craziness. I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but like, we are having that grind, pull back, but it's large. I mean, you're going from, 341 to 500 in less than a year. That's a large run up. So I don't know when the it's gonna stop, but at some point the music does stop. If you look at housing versus income, housing costs are becoming not affordable for people. Um, there's a lot of underlying things that are happening within the economy that people do not realize that will come out once we start dropping. They'll be like, oh, well, housing has been, shot up and now it's coming down. Like things that you could look at, um, credit card debt. Like credit card debt's at an all-time high. No one's talking about that because the markets are going up. But once the markets start coming down, then it's going to become an issue. Or the average savings that people have is going way down. So all these underlying things are happening, but no one's talking about it because the markets are making new highs. But once we start pulling back, these things will come to light, and then it'll be a factor, and then that's the next headwind. But because obviously inflation is quote unquote in check at this point. Do I think it's in check? Not really, but that's what they're saying. That's what they're telling us. So, I think there's a lot of underlying things that are going on within the economy. I think it will come out, but bad things typically don't come out until the market starts pulling back. So we'll wait and see. We're obviously up a tremendous amount this year. The earnings keep going up, so it will be interesting. I mean, honestly, it's a handful of stocks that are driving this, but it's interesting to see what happens. But one bad quarter from them, and it might cause a downtrend for 2 years. You might have that hangover from the right here, basically from 21 all the way to basically January of 23. So what was that? That was about a year downtrend. So, you might get something like that if we start getting bad quarters. You might get a year or maybe 2 years of just kind of downtrend and then kind of flat. But I feel like the market needs something like this. Just a real good consolidation period, let things cool off, get the underlying economy in check, and then we start going. So I didn't mean to get too far into that. I do think that I do not like how we closed. We dropped, like 200 points end of day. That's not what you want to see. So, but after the Trump thing, I'm curious if we start ripping on Monday or, it's a pop and drop. We might have a open and then kind of just sell off. So I'll be looking to play a bunch of things. These are just my ideas. This is my idea session. I go over a bunch of stocks that I'm looking to invest in as well. I don't want to bother you with that, but just my thoughts on the market in general, and I guess we'll go from there.